In a small kingdom, there was a king who ruled. He had a great passion for hunting. One day, the king went hunting with his soldiers. Along the way, he saw a man cutting wood. Nearby, there was a tied-up donkey, and a small tent was visible. The king was surprised to see that the poor man's tent was very small and could only accommodate one person. The king went a little further, and suddenly a fast wind and storm started. The king's soldiers immediately advised him to go back, but the king said, "You all go back. I will spend the night in this man's tent." This statement left all the soldiers astonished. One of them said that it would be difficult for the king to stay in such a small tent. The king, however, was determined. He said, "All of you come here tomorrow morning. I want to see how a poor man spends his life." When all his soldiers left, the king reached the man's tent. The man was very cheerful and hospitable. He offered the king warm milk from his pet goat. Then he gave the king a dry bread with some onions, which the king somehow managed to eat. The man then arranged for the king to sleep on a golden bed because there was only one bed in the tent. Therefore, the man slept outside near his tied-up donkey. Bacchus the king was his guest that night. The entire night, the king could not sleep because he was accustomed to sleeping on his palace's soft beds. In the morning, he asked the man, "Why don't you live in the city?" The man replied, "Greetings, Your Majesty. I don't have enough money to afford the rent in the city, so I am forced to live here." When the king listened to this, he thought, "If this poor man can provide me everything which he has, then me as a king couldn't do anything for him." Upon hearing this, the king felt very sad. He immediately ordered a room in his palace to be given to the man for free and arranged for a monthly stipend for him from the royal treasury. Empathy and understanding lead to compassion. Sometimes, stepping into the shoes of others, even for a brief moment, can open our eyes to the challenges they face. True leadership involves not only power, but also a deep understanding of the lives of those one governs. The king's experience taught him the value of compassion, kindness, and the responsibility that comes with his position. It reminds us that those in positions of power should use their influence to uplift the less fortunate and make a positive impact on their lives.